Welcome, everybody, to this brand new series called Road to I Am, inspired by my fellow colleague, future Grandmaster Levi Osman. So, here I am playing another chess tournament. As those of you guys who don't know me, I'm Women's Grandmaster and I've been competing chess my whole life, pretty much until now. And I was always kind of like a professional chess player, only focused on chess. Well, sometimes I would go to school when I don't have chess tournaments. But when COVID hit, everything kind of changed and I became a streamer and then later content creator. So, as like most of my content or a lot of my content is like just playing, I try doing recaps every now and then, but it was tough. Now, though, I feel a whole new motivation to become an IM. But sometimes I feel like I need an extra push. And that push is gonna be you. You are gonna be keeping me accountable. You're gonna be keeping me accountable for my chess work, just as I am keeping you accountable for your chess work. I'm playing in this tournament called Winter Classic. Just started today, and I just had my first game. I'm gonna show it to you. I was playing white pieces. It started with d4, knight f6, c4, e6, knight c3, bishop b4. A very standard classic line of the Nimzo Indian. So I have my little prep here. I almost beat Grandmaster Jacob Agard recently. I lost, but I had a winning position out of this opening, so I'm happy with this opening. That like I won other games as well. So this line goes with bishop a2, b6, short castle, and bishop a6 is an interesting idea. I actually forgot about this line, or like I forgot how to react on this line. So I played it kind of like a logical move rook e1. Now after knight c6, knight g3, I face this issue. Like I remember my kind of go-to idea was always this weird rook lift, rook b1 to rook b2, and then rook d2, sometimes f4. But I'm annoyed. What if my opponent plays knight e5? And here I just couldn't understand how to react. Unfortunately, I missed this beautiful opportunity to actually win the piece. Like you see, I cannot take the knight because my queen is pinned. But if I move the queen over here, then the bishop is attacked, and the knight is attacked. So I'm winning a piece literally on spot. So yeah, because like otherwise, if I don't do that, if I just do my idea, I'm annoyed after knight d3 because the knight comes in and like I lose an exchange. So I didn't like that. So I was thinking, but not that long. I also considered like bishop b2, but then like again, I couldn't understand what to do after like knight e5. Knight wants to enter to d3. Unfortunately, once again, I have this beautiful queen a4 attacking the bishop and attacking the knight. As I learned from Levi, these recaps are supposed to be a therapy session for myself first and foremost. So you're my therapist. All of you are my therapist. So I didn't play bishop b2 and I'm very upset. I played knight h5. Now my opponent takes, I take, and has this very good opportunity to bring the knight over. Like I usually say don't put your knight on the rim because it's dim, slim, or like any other things, but actually the knight wants to go to c4, or sometimes bishop wants to go to c4. Plus there is a threat of pawn takes pawn, and then queen c3 attacking double rooks, both rooks. So I have to do something. And like if I just put my bishop somewhere, like the knight is gonna come over, although that's like not that dangerous, but I would probably have to like lose the bishop, and then I don't have my two bishops advantage. Two bishops advantage is something that you shouldn't be worried about because it's like really for tile players, but since I'm a tile player, it's an important advantage, so I was worried about it. And I decided to sacrifice the pawn by going e4. What is the idea here? The idea is that after pawn takes pawn, and rook takes pawn, I had this sneaky bishop b2 undermining the rook and the pawn. And when the rook comes in to d2 attacking the bishop, I sacrifice the bishop. And after king takes, queen g5, double attack to the rook and to the king. And I win the game. So that was my whole plan. Except for here, I blundered. After rook d2, it turns out that I cannot take the pawn. I cannot sacrifice the bishop. Like, this is great. This is correct. But actually, my opponent has an intermediate move, which is so frustrating. And it is to attack the f2 pawn, the king, and protect the rook. Queen f4. That's like the only move. Protects the rook, attacks the f2, and also takes the control of the g5 square. So now I am pretty much losing. And that's when I realized that my position is screwed. So I have two options. Either I go rook b1, but then still queen f4, and very annoying. Or I have to go back. I mean, I also have a third option, which is straight queens, but I didn't want to do that because that's like going to the lost endgame. So I played bishop c1. I'm like, okay, this is fine. Like, you know, us Russians, we have a great fighting spirit. So not a big deal. I go rook c2, bishop e3, queen c3. And now there is another issue. The issue is that both of my rooks are attacked. Well, actually, they're not attacked because they're protected, but there is a threat of the rook sacrifice on a2, and that's gonna be an overload. Like, if I don't do anything like king h2, there is a rook takes bishop, and after rook takes rook, queen e1, checkmate. And it's not easy to actually defend from this. So I found like the only probably move in this position, which is bring the queen back, protect the rooks, and kind of like have control everything. And now probably the best move for my opponent would be bishop d3 to cut this diagonal, because this line, because I want also to kick the queen out, maybe with bishop d4, because my queen is defending the square. But after bishop d3, I cannot like do anything. I'm like so passive. But I kind of read my opponent, so I know like this guy's young, you know. How young is my opponent? Under 18, definitely. So my opponent, like, yeah, I could see that he's gonna like going for like tactics. Tactics not always, like, fancy moves are not always the best moves. So here my opponent goes bishop e2. Oh my god, beautiful move. Like, my opponent like even looked at me like, oh no, did you see that? Are you gonna blunder? Bro, of course I saw that. So I go queen b1. Like, duh. And here my opponent, after slight thought, plays rook b2. I'm like, wait a second. What do you want? Endgame? Rook c2. I'm like, really? Where is your fighting spirit? How can you be that? Like, honestly, that's embarrassing. Like, you have a winning position and you offer a repetition just because you're playing with a grandmaster, and not just a grandmaster, a woman grandmaster? The look I gave to my opponent, you should have seen it. I mean, honestly, it's sad because the kids these days, especially in the United States of America, they don't have any fighting spirit at all. Like, if I did that back in the days, my coach would tear my score sheet apart. Like, literally. Like, this is a score sheet, this is my coach, and this is what he would do. And he would throw it like that, and voila, like, you're out of the classroom. Like, we don't play chess to offer a draw on a move 20. Okay, like 24, win an extra pawn. You have a chance to win against a grandmaster, a woman grandmaster, and instead you're offering a draw? For what? What's the point? To gain 15 rating points that you're gonna lose the next day by losing to another kid? I mean, if it was me, I would say draw overs should be banned from chess. Like, they should not exist. Okay? Anyways, guys, that was the round 1 of Winter Open. Tomorrow I'm playing 2 more games, and let me know if you want to see the recaps like that. If you want to follow the journey of my classical games, my journey of classical chess, I'd be more than happy to make it for you if you find that interesting, entertaining, and of any value. Thank you for spending this 8 minutes with me. Thank you, guys. I hope you have fantastic holidays. Hope you're happy and you're working on your chess just like I am. Okay, thank you, guys. Bye. Don't forget to put the like, subscribe, and check out my school. You can try it for free for 7 days. Bye bye bye.